I shall. And hello to all the other wonderful weirdos watching. If anybody is going to be confused by the difference between how I am now and my Monday's video, I recorded the Monday video before I got sick. So I didn't miraculously recover. If anything, I think I'm getting worse. So I'm probably... oh, I don't know how I'm going to be on Monday, but hopefully I'll be better. Oh, I thought my cold was like not that bad yesterday and thinking, oh yeah, this is a nice, easy cold where I don't feel brain fog. And now I woke up this morning. Oh boy, it feels so bad. I even sound bad. It did not affect my voice until today, so that's fun. And I'm overheating again. Oh boy, that's not great. But at least I have my green tea and honey, so my throat should be fine soon. So we're back with Bora Chung's Weird and Wonderful, except this is actually pretty tame in comparison to some of the other stories in here, but it does not detract from how good it was. It was, oh, coughing helped. So we start this story off slight ways into what's happening with the owner of the blood sausage place. Oh, I don't remember the full name, but it's a blood sausage place. The owner of the blood sausage stew restaurant. There we go. They're just having a little meeting about a premium that our main character is expected to pay, and her husband, and this owner of this restaurant is also got some bodyguard, like a man dressed in black, to like the intimidation tactic. They kind of sort out some legal stuff, and the husband is doing the legal jargon, but the woman, who I'm pretty sure is just like unnamed, it's just the woman throughout this story, she's basically just not paying much attention anymore. She's just like, and then she's just watching the child just like play in the corner. And yeah, then we cut back to when she was like saving up money after 7 years. She was in debt from, I think, student loans, etc. And she kind of felt ashamed that her mother, like her in-laws, had to buy her out of her debt, but she worked for so long, over 7 years, just to like pay them back, and she's like debt free, and she's saved up money, and her and her husband bought this building. And so there's a little horror story with the building, because they weren't told, like, it would be rude to go into the flat when somebody is living in there. And so yeah, so the top floor is where the person who owns the building resides, and we've got the third floor, which is where they look through and would reside until they can get access to the fourth floor, and they only get view that bit, so they can't actually go into the fourth floor. And they actually agree to sign, and there's that horrible little yeah, first time buyers kind of try their best to avoid these mistakes. Yeah, it's just like, oh dear, it's the horror stories of buying property and not reading the full thing through, and how people, like, how the whole estate agent would go about trying to push a property on somebody, that kind of thing. And so one of the, I think the first floor has a rental potential, and then on the ground floor is currently it's a cafe when they move in, and then there's the basement, which is full of stuff from the person who used to reside on the third floor but didn't take with. So it's full of mannequins and costumes and all bits and pieces. So we get her living there. The cafe owner moves out, and the blood sausage stew people move in, and it stinks a bit worse than the cafe, but the money is kind of how they are earning anything, and so they keep living there. They try and sort renters out. The husband says that the second floor we can be renovated out into a office space, and so they renovate all that out as much as possible. When they finally get access to the fourth floor, it's full of rodents and cockroaches. Yeah, and they pull in exterminator after exterminator. Just it takes so long to get them out, and even the exterminator is called in to double check the basement just in case. And he has this, he just says this one thing. It's like, your house is upside down. Normally it's the basement that's overrun with like mice and cockroaches, but it's your top floor. And so, yeah, I think it was actually the mice and cockroaches running out of the building, which is why the cafe owner left. Which understandable, you want to keep up hygiene, but like things that was kind of what triggered that. And it's just like the things that are going about, and then we kind of focus a little bit on a parking spot dispute. Never before have I been engrossed in an somebody else fighting over their parking spot, like saying that it's his parking spot. His family's been around this neighborhood for generations. That is, I've always parked there. That is my parking spot. Like, and the husband and the wife are just like, but this is legally our parking spot. We are literally paying for it. They keep finding their car to be scratched every so often, so they install a camera, and eventually they get called in by the police for assault charges because that neighbor, because they suspect him for scratching their cars, but that neighbor has like decided to like call him in, going, that man has beat me up, and to their surprise, he is actually beaten up, and according to his story, the man got out of the car door and slammed the door into him, slammed his head against the door repeatedly, and slammed his fingers in the door, like very violently attacked the neighbor, and we now are like wondering what is going on with what is being said. Did the husband do it? It might be on the CCTV. Good thing they have CCTV, because then they can just like prove no, he didn't. And then the weirdest thing happened. You can see the neighbor stroll up to the car, and he's about to scratch it again. Only he gets beaten up by nothing. It looks like a ghost has just like beaten him to a pulp. Which, yeah, he did get. His story was true, except for who did it. It wasn't the husband. It was like something else, and that's when everything just goes a little weird, or at least to us reading it. Like, yeah, there's something a bit more to this place. He's still adamant in he got beat up, but the policemen are just like, this is self-inflicted. And so he's now muttering under his breath, going, I was attacked. But there's like, instead of being angry about it, he's like terrified, because why didn't the CCTV see somebody? And yeah, that was really eerie and I loved it. And so we kind of go through it systematically. Like something would pop up, like there would be the business venture that the husband really wanted to pursue with his college friend, which is why they wanted the office space to sell this like health drink. And the friend kind of took off without any word after a few months. So the husband has basically told the woman that we've just been scammed out of this deal, but we do have all these energy drinks. We do have this drink left. We can sell that ourselves and make the money off of that. And yeah, then the phone calls eventually start, and there's an angry voice shouting down the phone to the woman about how this couple, are the ones who cheated that friend out of the opportunity. And this woman is just like listening to this angry woman over and over again say that they are vile people, etc. And they're just like phone call after phone call, and she's trying to get it to stop. And at the same time, we've got that blood sausage stew restaurant also starting to like go, I want our premium now. And eventually, all of these problems just disappear. But one of the things that, one, I think, I can't remember which order they come in now. It's a bit of a jumble. My brain is a jumble, but so if I just tackle it one by one. So we have the phone call. No, we do the blood sausage place first. So we have the threatening blood sausage stew, threatening violence against them if they continue with the threat of, we will go to the tax people and say you've been dodging tax, because we have an altered contract if we don't get our premium. And so the husband is just like, but that's also telling on yourself because you've been dodging taxes at the same time as we are. Why don't we just like backtrack the taxes and just, it'll be cheaper that way. And even the woman is thinking, we can't afford that. And she's crying about it. Like she can't bring herself to smile to her child who keeps finding like really cool stuff in the basement. And she kind of like spends a lot of time in the basement with the child, just like discovering all of these things, and eventually like nicely playing and like distracting the child from all of the stuff that's going on. And so the child is kind of like the distraction, and she just can't bring herself to, she just cries right in front of her, and the child asks what's wrong, and it's just like, adults get into complicated situations. And then the husband, I think, of the husband of the owner of the restaurant is found dead, part of him found in the stew pot, and the bodyguard that they hired to look intimidating was found killed by a lover. But the line that described his death going, little marks pressed into him, like crushed into him. Like he was crushed in a peculiar way. I don't even know if I could say that word without being sick, but oh well, it's getting worse. But he's also ex-gang, and so they just like go, all right, it's just gang related. And but the woman is thinking it's one of the things we've been finding in the basement, maybe, because there's these little boxes that the child keeps finding, and they just lock very weirdly, and they just like they play with these little lock boxes, and one of them just like locks in her hand automatically, as she's like turning it about in her hand, and she's kind of, there's like that hint that it's something to do with these lock boxes, but we don't get any answer of what exactly is going on. But we do get that it's to do with that basement. And so we also get the phone call resolution, and that is mainly to do with the woman saying that the husband is cheating on her. That the woman is shouting down the phone that no good cheating husband of yours is cheating on that our protagonist with the interior designer that they hired to do the remodeling to try and impress, because the whole story was he wanted to get into a business venture, so they made an office to do the business venture, but the friend didn't want a big remodel done. He just wanted somewhere to sit down for 2 months. But the husband is just like, I wanted to please his architect, his interior designer girlfriend. And so he had the whole remodel done just to impress her. And turns out he also loaned out money for her. And it's also why we have so much more debt, because the woman who we are following, she worked so hard for so long, and her husband hasn't been helping much. He's just been going after an alternative way of working that is outside the typical means of capitalism. And those means kind of unfortunately end up making them worse off. And it's kind of quite scammy even. And so basically she's one day playing with the child again, but she can't bring herself to even smile, and the child senses that as well. And one of the hikes, so the husband likes to go on hikes, it's always random, this little habit of his. Sometimes it's early in the morning, he'll go up to that little nice hill trail walk, and sometimes it's after he's worked at trying to sell this health drink, and he's a bit too stressed, so he'll just go up the hill. And yeah, that's basically, he goes off one of these walks and doesn't come back. So, and then we get a cut to a traffic accident because it was absolutely pouring it down, and the car skidded on the wet surface, and it just, the guy was thrown through the windshield, broke his neck and died instantly. The woman behind the wheel was comatose. So it's a problem gets resolved by somebody dying. So if something goes wrong and the woman is too upset about it, something is going to happen to rectify that. And that's where this whole thing kind of accumulates. And you're just like, okay, what about this? What exactly is about this building that does this? And so we have this woman on the phone to her mum as she's got this child. So the child is following her around, and the woman's on the phone to her mum about asking her if she's okay because her husband's just died and it's not good to stay in all the time. Are you getting out? Because you're a widow and childless. And I was sat in the break room, and I was just I looked up and around the room going, what? I thought, I don't know if it was just me being in the early throes of being ill, but I just did not think it was the child, even though I did wonder why it never mentioned her and her partner going through the process of having kids. I did find that a little odd, but I'm guessing the story was about money, but it actually was relevant the whole time. And it was just like, yeah, this child is not even hers, and but it's there. There's a ghost child, and it's so creepy, but also really cool, and it makes sense because when she's playing with the child and she's upset, it gets rectified soon. So yeah, and then the story ends with the little information that when she first saw the child, it was a shadow in the basement, but she was giving love and attention to it, and now she can fully interact with this child. Like the child can like actually jump up and hug her. Yeah, it's she's very proud that she's able to like bring this child out, because there was a line in the early bits of the book of the story where she asks the child if she wants to go to a park, and the child is like, no, I want to play in the basement. And so it's that kind of line that makes you think that is definitely her child, but it's just like, no, this is a ghost child the whole time. The child doesn't leave the house. So yeah, we've got that. It's a lovely little ghost story, but also like the ghost is like kind of killing people that really upset this woman. So it's like the ghost loves the woman. They found each other, and nothing's gonna like upset that basically. And it's a little sweet, a little horrifying, but I really enjoyed it. And it was just like, oh my god, that's the twist. That was good. That was good. So yeah, that was Home Sweet Home. Yeah, nothing's gonna make home feel that sweet now. So that was actually a really nice twist. And the one that I actually did not see coming, I genuinely thought there was just gonna be something like cursed objects like we have had in like the past few stories. But yeah, that was really, really nice. And also, it was a nice, sweet ending, despite the fact that it's a homicidal ghost, but it's a homicidal ghost child. What do you expect from ghost children? It's fine. It's like we're having a few weeks of homicidal children in one form or another. It's fine. I think I'm hitting a theme. Last week was Children of the Corn, so yeah, it's definitely on theme right now. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up and I'm gonna sort myself out because I can't rest unfortunately because I'm still at work, but it's fine. I'm gonna attempt to take it easy now, so yeah. Hope everybody's doing okay and that they're not getting ill right now in flu season. It's fine. That's this week's short story. Bye, Shal. And bye to all you other wonderful weirdos watching. Na, 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 na.